is illegal. You are breaking the law. This is something that I've been saying for a very long time, and no one believes me, so I decided to just make a video showing all the research that fan art is technically illegal. Now, before we begin, just a disclaimer, this is not legal advice. This video is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. So everything in this video is my opinion, okay? It's my interpretation of the law, and it is not advice that you should necessarily follow. I'm not a lawyer. Secondly, do I think you should stop drawing fan art? The answer is no. I think that making fan art is great. I think it's awesome. I think your chances of any consequences happening is very slim. I think fan art is a great way to learn to make art, so on and so forth. So just to get that out of the way, I'm not saying that fan art is bad. I'm not saying you should stop fan art, but it is technically illegal. Just like with the last video, I'm trying out this new look where the lights are off. It's kind of awesome. I use my phone with a light on it to light up my face. My Coinmaster village was just raided. They're the sponsor for this video, Coinmaster. Coinmaster is an awesome free mobile game. It's a social game where you can build your own village and attack and raid other villages. And they can attack and raid you, like what just happened to me. Oh, Rana stole almost 1 million coins from me. Isabel tried to attack my village. I will not stand for this. Let's get revenge. What are we gonna steal? Let's go for the panda. I stole 140,000 coins! Take that! No one messes with my village. Now, of course, I'm gonna wanna build some more stuff to protect my village. So, what should we build? Let's build this, shall we? Aw, yeah. Coinmaster is the most downloaded game in the UK in 2019 with over 20 million downloads. The game has tournaments and tons of card collections for you to collect and share with your friends. There are also epic pets that can boost your skills. By downloading using my special link below for both iOS and Android, you'll get 300,000 coins and 50 slot spins to get started on your first village. That'll put you ahead of all your friends and they'll be jealous. Coinmaster is my excuse to troll my friends. What is your excuse? I'll see you in the game. Let's just jump into it. Is fan art illegal? By Chris Oatley on chrisoatley.com. Now this website I'd never heard of before. Who's Chris Oatley? I went to his Twitter page. He is a Disney artist, helping aspiring artists create careers in animation, illustration, games, and comics. And he links to his own website, Chris Oatley. So he is a Disney artist. Don't worry, we'll hear from lawyers in just a little bit. But this is someone who's in the industry who should know a thing or two about copyright, considering they work with Disney copyrighted characters, right? All articles talked about will be linked down below, so you can go read them for yourself. All videos used will be linked down below. Of course, I'm not gonna read the whole article, I'm not gonna show the whole video, but I recommend you go and read through all the articles and the videos. They're very informative, very good. If you've ever been to an artist's alley at a comic convention, the thought, can this be legal, has surely jumped into your head. Yes, it has. Many times, every convention I've been to, there's been an artist alley, except for conventions like E3. And they're often selling art that they've made that involves copyrighted characters, such as Disney, Marvel characters. You often see fan art of Spider-Man or Superman or so on and so forth. I know Superman isn't Marvel, just bear with me. Being sold for money at conventions. When it comes to fan art, what is legal and what is not? There's a lot of myths that cloud the truth of fan art in regards to what you can and cannot be sued for. Perhaps you've heard some of the following myths. One-of-a-kind original drawings and paintings are legal. Many artists like to argue that their fan art is perfectly legal because they created the painting or the drawing themselves. Yes, that's true, but you didn't create the character. The character is intellectual property that belongs to the copyright holder of that character, and you using it in your original art makes the art not original. That is one myth that a lot of artists like to say when they talk about whether their fan art is actually legal. Since everyone does it, copyright holders must not care. It is true that a lot of people make fan art, and very, very few times have you ever heard about someone getting sued for making fan art. That doesn't mean it's not illegal. That doesn't mean it's not copyright infringement. That's just businesses who own the copyright to the characters that you use, playing it smart. More on that in just a little bit. If I only sell fan art at conventions and not online or in stores, it is okay. If I'm not making a profit from my fan art, it is legal to draw someone else's characters. Where you sell doesn't matter, and the fact that you're selling it doesn't even matter. This applies to fan art that is not for sale as well. Just making fan art is also copyright infringement. Doesn't matter if you're selling it or not. It's still infringement of copyright. Fan art and copyright infringement might seem complicated, but really it isn't. Do you own the character in question? Yes? Do what you please. No, you have no legal right to profit from work featuring characters without permission from the copyright holder. No, you have almost no right to create such works, not for a profit either. This is what I've been saying the whole time I've been doing animation meme review, art review, talking about artists, so on and so forth. It really is not complicated. It's so simple. If you make art that includes a character that you do not own, you are infringing copyright. It's so easy and it's so simple. The fact that so many artists don't understand this blows my mind. The fact that so many myths and lies about copyright law are spread around online blows my mind as well. Now, of course, none of it matters if you have permission from the rights holder to use the said character in question. It has to be written permission, and if you have that, you're good to go. You can use the character. But without permission, you are infringing on copyright. Let's jump to plagiarism today! Nothing like plagiarism, am I right? But Parker, aren't you plagiarizing these articles by reading directly from them? No, because I'm adding my own commentary interspersed between, which makes it a transformative experience. The messy world of fan art and copyright. Fan fiction and fan art both remain wildly popular and widely tolerated on the web. There are large communities dedicated to Harry Potter fan fiction, even after Rowling successfully sued another fan creation in court. And then, of course, what they're talking about in the New York Times, Rowling wins lawsuit against Potter Lexicon. For 7 years, a Harry Potter fanatic worked on a guidebook to J.K. Rowling's best-selling series, but in the end, a federal judge ruled on Monday his book was too close to the work he admired. Now, while this is getting into the realm of fan fiction, the law works the same way. It's a fan creation using intellectual property from Harry Potter, the same way that fan art of Harry Potter would be using the Harry Potter intellectual property. And this is where the whole fair use argument comes into play. Fair use is a great thing that exists. It's why I am able to use fan art in my own videos, because I'm criticizing them, I'm adding commentary to them, so on and so forth. It falls under fair use. When I show an artist's art in my videos, it falls under fair use. So this specific case is pretty interesting because most people would think that this type of work, a guidebook to J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, would be a transformative experience, right? But it's not, because he was offering a guide. It's like an encyclopedia of Harry Potter. He's not offering commentary about Harry Potter. He's not offering criticism of Harry Potter. He's not offering his own opinions on what's happening in Harry Potter. He's just telling you what is in Harry Potter. It's an encyclopedia of Harry Potter, basically. That is not transformative. What is transformative is me giving a review of Harry Potter, my own personal thoughts of Harry Potter, adding commentary to it. So just because you take something and package it differently and put it in a different medium, that alone does not make it transformative. It has to be a different enough experience to be considered transformative. For example, if you wrote a book that was parodying the world of Harry Potter, that parody would be protected under fair use, because that is transformative. What the law says, according to copyright law, copyright holders have the sole right to distribute derivative works based on an original creation. This includes sequels and any other work that includes copyrightable elements from the original creation. Fair use may protect some fan creations from being an infringement, but that is handled on a case-by-case basis, looking at the facts of the actual work. However, most fan creations, by their very nature, don't parody or criticize the source material, which would provide a great deal of protection, nor are they highly transformative, meaning that they are less likely to win in the event that such a suit takes place. To sum this all up, this goes with pretty much any law. There's no black and white answer to whether you're breaking the law or not in most cases, especially with stuff like copyright. If you get taken to court, it is up to the court to interpret the laws themselves and determine what that means for your case. How someone interprets the law can vary from person to person. You might have the same case happen, but have 2 different judges, and the outcome will be different just because the judge's interpretation of the law might be different. You can't say for certain what would happen when it comes to copyright law. But generally speaking, drawing fan art of a character does not fall under fair use. It is not transformative. If you draw a fan art from a character that's in a book or in a movie, and you're saying it's transformative because you're painting it, which is a different medium than what it is, you've transformed it into a different medium, that's not what transformative means. That's not what it means. You are still drawing the same character. You're still using the same copyrighted character. In order for it to be transformative, you have to change enough about the actual character to make it a different character. For example, if you draw Batman as a woman, that probably would not be transformative enough to be considered fair use. However, you could argue that it's a parody, and it could fall under fair use for that reason. But just changing Batman's gender alone is not enough. But if you change Batman's cape, if you remove the cape, if you remove his mask, if you change enough elements like that about Batman to the point where it is not recognizable as Batman, then you've transformed him to the point where it is transformative. Yet, despite a relatively strong legal position, lawsuits over fan fiction and fan art are extremely rare. This is extremely odd, considering that many of the rights holders, who are the most common target of fan creations, are also among the most aggressive at stopping other infringement of their work. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, how should you stop making fan art just because it's illegal? I don't think you need to. I don't think you have really much of a risk at all of facing legal trouble, because it's true, most companies would never even think about pursuing legal action against their own fans for making fan art. But that doesn't mean that it hasn't been done before. And just because it rarely happens doesn't mean that making fan art isn't illegal. It would be dumb for a company to sue their own fan for making fan art because number one, you would be upsetting a fan, which is really dumb. Number two, it's free advertisement. When someone makes fan art, it's free advertisement for you that you don't have to pay for. And number three, if they were to pursue a lawsuit, it would be all over Twitter. It'd be all over the news. No one would ever like that company again. It'd be stupid of them to even do that. While making fan art might be illegal, taking legal action against people for making fan art is morally wrong. The law does not always line up with morality. A lot of people like to confuse that. In my opinion, making fan art is not wrong, but in the law's eyes, it is illegal without permission from the rights holder. And it is true that a lot of the common targets of fan art are among the most aggressive, such as Disney, who in 1989, this is a Chicago Tribune article from 1989, Disney went after 3 daycare centers demanding that they remove their characters from their walls. The daycare centers had painted Disney's characters on the walls for the children to enjoy and have fun with. Disney representatives said they must protect their copyright, even though they are sympathetic to the children's affection for the characters. If we were to allow them to use the characters, then we would have to allow everyone else to do so. If we don't protect our trademarks, we could lose our copyright and be out of business. Once again, morals don't always line up with the law. Is it morally bad for Disney to demand this? Yes, but are they within their legal rights to do this? Yes, if they took the daycares to court, they would win. Disney would win because the daycares were infringing on Disney's copyright. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Here's a lawyer, an actual lawyer here. This channel's YouTuber Law, very good channel. In the description, he's Lior Lesor-esque. I probably pronounced that wrong, I apologize. But he's a technology, internet, and software law, and he is real. He has a website and he has physical locations as well. So he's the real deal. Let's see what he says about fan art and copyright. This video is linked down below, by the way, also. I recommend you watch the entire thing. It's very helpful, very informative. It's the best video I've seen on this subject, by far.
Today, let's focus on fan art that is created based on somebody else's work. So you're creating art based on Superman, Spider-Man, whichever character you like. Is fan art copyright infringement? Is it fair use? Let's focus on the 5 items that circulates everywhere that are just outright false that are circulating all over the internet. First false legal idea. Fan art is original, therefore it's not copyright infringement. No, it's not. By law, it's not considered original. It's considered a derivative use. Only the original owner of a copyright is entitled to derivative usage. And as a result, yours being an unauthorized derivative use is just copyright infringement.
That's what I've been saying this whole time, but artists just didn't ever believe me. There's a lawyer saying it for you. Now he goes on to elaborate more with what this means, and I recommend you go watch the whole video, but I mean, this is what I've been saying the whole time I've been doing YouTube. It doesn't matter if you made the art yourself, you're still using copyrighted material. You're still infringing on copyright.
But we have fair use, and the first element in fair use is that it's commercial or not. And in our case, fan art is not commercial. That's a false hack number 2. Is it commercial? Most providing it for free, so they're not actually selling it, and other ones are selling it for minimal amount. That can't be commercial. False. It is absolutely commercial. Think about it. The very fact that you're providing it for free in the marketplace, allowing people to create products off of it, utilize it in any which way, is that any less damaging than if you sold it in person and made money off of it? Your wholesale distribution over the internet of your fan art might be just as damaging or not more, because without cost, people can actually take it and turn it into t-shirts and mugs and put it on their websites.
So once again, like I've been saying, it doesn't matter whether you're selling it or not. Even if you're not selling it, it's still copyright infringement. And Lior brought up something very interesting, that giving it away for free may be more damaging than selling it, because more people have access to it and it's easier for people to get. It may be more damaging to the market than just selling it. That's something I've never heard before. That's kind of interesting.
Which leads us to false tip number 3. Fan art is highly transformative, therefore it is fair use. Well, could be. Usually it's not. Usually fans are not creating works of art that are critical of the original works. They're not creating works of art that is commentaries or criticism or parodies of the original work. Usually they take the original work, that original character, and they try to create art based on it, expanding on the original ideas. And as a result, it's actually far less transformative. You've had to create new elements, new ideas. It has to take the original idea of what that character was and create it into something that it wasn't. That's why a criticism or commentary or a parody of the original work actually is very transformative. but that's also why a lot of time fan art is not.
Another thing that I've been saying, it's not transformative unless you change the character enough to where it's become a transformed character. But me including people's art in my videos is transformative because I'm adding commentary to it. I'm giving criticism to it. It falls under fair use. It's transformative. Drawing a character that already exists and is copywritten does not fall under fair use. It's not transformative. So this all has been like common sense to me. If there's a character that's copywritten, you are not allowed to use that character without permission in any way. That's like common sense to me, but for some reason, a lot of artists, a lot of animators just do not understand that. So hopefully this cleared that up. Hopefully this was informative. Hopefully it educated you a little bit. Once again, this video is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. And if you have a specific question about copyright law, you should always go to a lawyer who specializes in copyright law and discuss with them. Now, all that being said, like I said at the beginning of the video, does this mean that you should stop making fan art? Probably not. Your chance of encountering a problem with making fan art is pretty much zero. It's not entirely zero, but the likelihood of a company actually suing you, like Disney, is very slim. Most likely the worst that would happen is you get sent a cease and desist. But the risk is there. It is there. So that is that. A lot of people who know nothing about the law like to think that they know copyright law and they just get it wrong. So hopefully that cleared up a lot of things about copyright. Is it backwards? Probably, yeah. I think the law should be changed to allow you to make fan art. But what are you gonna do? The law is the law, right? Well, thank you for watching. Support my Patreon. Just $2 per month. All patrons have access to videos early. All the patrons are on your screen right now. They're awesome. Thank you so much for being patrons. You're all amazing. And if you have an art community related topic you'd like me to discuss, leave it in the comments below or tag me on Twitter at PKRUSSL. I might just see it. I might just make a video about it. So let me know. Thank you for watching, everyone. Blah!
I've got the time.